I'm sorry. You guys know how anti-Semitic I am, but this is the craziest song I've ever heard. It makes no sense. Sarepta's cooked? Oh, you think so? Yeezy taught me. It's just the song doesn't make any fucking sense. Like Hitler was not pro black people. I think that's the joke why the it's all the black guys in the video. Sarepta kind of is the crash out version of biotech company. I think that's right. Human no, human no. Yeah. I mean, even if you think the song sucks, I think it was like I think the statement he's making is the art, but nobody wants to hear he's making a statement. I do think he's likes to get attention. All artists are fundamentally at their core attention whores, which is why I was never comfortable being an artist myself. Even though you see all the guitars in my room, I wanted to be a rock star, but I never wanted to put myself out there. That's not really what our rock star does. Rock star puts himself out there. I didn't mind performing other people's songs. But when it came to my own songs, it was really personal and difficult to find a voice that you felt comfortable with. And when you look at artists, one of the biggest things that they hate is criticism. Jay-Z has like 100 songs about critics. It's like, look, man, you won. You top of the game. Nobody. But half of his songs are self consciousness. Nobody's ahead of me, not even the Beatles. I slayed Elvis with his blue suede shoes. It's just all poor little me. I want people to like my poetry. I hope you like my poetry. And it's very, at the end of the day, it's kind of pathetic. But that's what being an artist reduces you to. I mean, it's like the biggest self navel gazing kind of self-adulation and flagellation that you can do for a career. Cursive, the rock band Cursive, writes a lot about this. So I think for Kanye, race played a big role in his life. The last I chatted with him, there's still a very strong racial kind of overtone to his life. I think most black people have that regardless. And, here he's sort of like playing with the forbidden, which artists thousands of years have done that. Different levels of forbidden. And pushing the boundary of the forbidden is kind of like the artist's job description almost. So South Park's done this many, many times. Now you kind of have somebody that's willing to go even further. Maybe possibly willing to go much further, actually. Oh yeah, I've been to Warsaw a bunch of times. That's funny, Carol. Warsaw is a club in Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, I get that he's not, in some ways, it's not your traditional avant-garde deep thinker artist, but don't don't I wouldn't sell Kanye short. If you talk to him, he's brilliant. He's nobody's fool. I talked to him about quantitative investing. The guy's not stupid at all. He's very sharp. But you have to recognize that, like, his job as an artist is to be, like, transgressive and crazy. Yeah, he's certainly, nobody's asking for his, I don't think he's asking for anybody's sympathy, although it seems like sometimes maybe he is. The nitrous thing is part of his life too. That's true. That's a tough one, Robert, because it depends on how you define rap. Rap song, rap has been around for a long time if you think about it. Epic poetry started in 300 BC. I think he's somewhat. I think a lot of artists, what they do is they hear stories or they think thoughts and then they play with them as ideas. A lot of people to this day debate whether Jay-Z was even a drug dealer. My lawyer told me he was, but regardless, there's a thing as an artist that you do when you borrow. Picasso said great artists steal. They don't borrow, they steal. So there was this feeling that, like, maybe Jay-Z was hearing a lot of these stories that he was sharing on records. Yeah, rappers and Homer are pretty similar. I mean, they're just today's artists. Now, obviously, if some of these rappers are garbage, but some of the poets in Homer's time were garbage too. You just don't know about them. Yeah, I'm not sure, Raul. That's the winners write the history. Right? Yeah, Will may have it more right. Here's an example of Homeric simile. Like a lion grown weakly in a cage and pining for deer, his appetite denied, the taste of blood held back by his keepers, and he is hungering for it. His wrath's consuming in him as he roams up and down his cage, for he yearns to be free and sally in the field. So it was with the tears of Odysseus. The key part is just the epic simile. Yeah, Shakespeare is, yeah, he said, just knowing Shakespeare is a superpower. And that's something the black community doesn't know. And the white community knew. It's like a little secret passed down to people, but of course it's in every high school too. Yeah, Homer was Wu-Tang Clan. I was a literature minor, so yeah. I don't do it. I don't focus on it anymore. But my child will learn all the world's great literature. There's no doubt about that. I just don't want my child to be a writer or something. Rap was invented by the blacks. If you believe that meter was invented by blacks, Shakespeare was using meter. Chaucer was using meter. Who invented meter is your question. Here's one of my favorite raps, okay? You want to hear a rap? Here's a rap. Check this fire out right here.